So it's 7:36 in the morning. I'm going to put it like this. I have to put myself in a state that I can deal and facilitate our rapidly diminishing child who gets hypersensitive to sound and light and all these other issues. So if I'm not absolutely sensitive to his needs, then I don't know what he's going through, and I can't properly care for him. I sleep no more than 4 hours at a time, what you would consider it as kind of a fire watch sort of a situation, where if I can catch a little nap here and there throughout the day, it's pretty nice. So when this starts up and doesn't end until 11 o'clock at night, and I'm trying to sleep or trying to relax, my nerves are already rattled. I already have PTSD issues. So when you add the sleep and the odd eating patterns, which I've actually gotten much better at, and staying hydrated, but not going out and moving around, and when I do, it's dealing with all this harsh input while I'm out there. This isn't just me, this is people all over this valley. If you want to understand how people become desensitized to it and why they're putting up with it, is because there's people moving here from the city who are used to just trash and noise and pollution all the time. So if you're wondering why I am so vigilant about this, it's because it is affecting my living. Because I can't operate as other people do on one station because I have to care for a child, and on the other because of this input all the time. When you add that with the environmental issues that are verified, that have been not studied, that have not been remedied, that have not been any type of reclamation on these fuel spills that have been around from the stories that I'm hearing, it's like those things are accumulating so that we can't do any of the traditional stuff we're supposed to do. The people that get really ugly about us say, why don't you go do those things and be Indians and eat your food and be happy, go eat your roots, digger, and be happy. We can't. They're already telling us not to eat stuff out of the main marsh, those Stillwater marshes. And where NAS Fallon is situated, it's basically leaching tons of chemicals and fuel, hydraulic fluids, oils, all those de-icers and things that come off the runway. It's just been leaching into that slough south of NAS Fallon for decades and decades and decades. And whatever's down there from before the 90s when they started to remedy that situation is still down there. They still not cleaned up those big plumes of fuel. All those things that have been dumped under the hangars are still down there and leaching down to the Stillwater Slough. They can't use the water underneath them because they've contaminated it enough that they have no way to treat it. So if that's how the Navy's going to treat it, they're going to treat that land as a ship. You can take a ship in the dry dock and you can completely rebuild it and bring it back out and make it good. But you can't do that to this area. So what's going to be left is, once they leave, it's just going to be a huge Superfund site with all this stuff in there that we won't be able, if they never fix it, then it's going to continue to contaminate this valley. It's going to get into our aquifer, and it's going to kill all the water that we'll ever have for the remainder of our time here, however long that is. So if you need to understand what it is, then go integrate yourself in it, to have to be sensitive to someone's needs, and to understand that once you get out here in the environment, that it's also the environment that's sick too. So that's it. That's all I have for today. I gotta go. Panitwa.